Hello and welcome to Unprofessional Engineering. My name is James.
And you got Luke.
Luke, we're joined once again this year at Autodesk University by Lisa Campbell, the now SVP and CMO of Business Strategy and Marketing.
That's a lot of acronyms.
I know. It feels like it might be the longest title in the company. I'm not sure.
It's like a contest for some of you folks up there, huh?
I know. We try to out acronym each other. So
yeah. Last time we were chatting with Greg and Hooper right after they had their switcheroo, and they were like competing who had the longest title, and I think Steven won because of the GM and everything else he had.
Yeah,
in
he
his,
got to throw in a few more letters. Okay, we'll have to work on that for Greg. Make it a little more competitive.
All right, so last year before we got started with the real questions, we had a little game to decide if we were going to be friends. This year we thought we would change it up a little bit, and we kind of raised the stakes a bit because we're recording this, and we're also reporting back to our good, close personal friend, Andrew Anagnost, to let him know which of his employees knows him the best. So this is a game called Know Your CEO, where we read you a quote, and if you guess if it's Andrew or the other person, the other celebrity that said it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be hard.
Okay, so the first one, this is going to be either Andrew or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay? So, Apollo in 1969, Shuttle in 1981, Nothing in 2011. Our space program would look awesome to anyone living backward through time.
I don't think that's Andrew.
Very good. Ding, ding, ding. You got that one. Next one. I think of space not as the final frontier, but as the next frontier.
Oh, because I've heard that before. What I don't know is did he quote somebody? That's the tough one. I'm going to say he didn't. Okay,
you're correct. So last one for Neil deGrasse Tyson. I deleted my Facebook account 3 years ago. Wasn't hard at all.
That's Andrew.
You follow him. So you obviously follow him on Twitter. You're probably, we picked all of these from his Twitter feed, so you're probably going to get some of these.
He's told me that one. Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Okay.
All right, so the next group we're asking you, our UK friends didn't really understand what we're doing. Is this Andrew or Mr. Rogers?
It gets tougher. It gets much tougher.
It does get tougher. The future belongs to the young. It's uplifting to see them own it.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's Andrew. I'm going to say it's Mr. Rogers.
That is Andrew, in fact.
That was Andrew. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Beep.
One strike.
We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my community, not my world, not my problem.
Andrew.
That is, in fact, Fred Rogers.
It sounds very
It does
Andrew.
Sound like him.
Very.
All right. I was better on the space stuff.
Well, that's okay. We thought that would be tougher, too.
Yeah.
All right, one last one for Mr. Rogers. I think it's very important, no matter what you may do professionally, to keep alive some of the healthy interests of your youth.
Well, I'm going to say Rogers.
That's right. Correct. All right.
Okay, this is Andrew or Bob Ross. You know Bob Ross, the painter with the big hair? Okay.
You guys made this really hard.
We're trying.
You should ask me if I know what books he's read recently, because I know that.
But we don't know that.
Yeah, but we don't know that. There is nothing in the world that breeds success like success.
Not Andrew.
That you're correct. If only we could all respect how others choose to live their lives.
Oh, I like that one. I'm going to give Andrew some credit for that.
Very good. Ding, 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 ding.
This is impressive.
And the last one, talent is a pursuit. Talent is a pursued interest. Anything you are willing to practice, you can do.
Oh, Andrew.
No, that is Bob Ross.
Okay, because I thought that was a good one too.
Okay, last one. You're doing pretty good so far.
You are.
You're doing better.
I want to know if I'm doing better than everybody else.
You're doing better than Hooper so far.
Oh, well, okay.
You've already outscored him.
That's a low bar. You said he didn't know.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
All right, Andrew or Elon Musk? Because we know there's a little love going on there, right?
Totally.
Can someone tell me when we're going to stop calling Twitter and Facebook tech companies?
Oh, that's Andrew.
I feel like you've heard
no
that
hesitation
one.
on that one.
Yeah.
That's why you need solar panels on your roof. Electricity has to come from somewhere.
Elon Musk.
In fact, that's Andrew.
Oh, okay.
And one last one. Growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell.
I want that to be Andrew. I'm going to give him credit for it.
Oh,
but it's Elon.
It is Elon.
All right.
But that's very complimentary that you wanted to attribute that.
Because I like that.
I think you did pretty well.
You did.
You are currly leading, so that's good news.
Oh, well, okay, there you go. I'm very competitive.
That's right.
But I could throw in a bonus question on some of his latest books. No, but you guys don't know the answer.
What do you think the best book is that he read lately?
Ready Player One.
And have you read it?
I have read it. I read it actually before he read it.
Did you suggest it? Do you guys have a book club?
No, but I think he's starting one. He keeps telling us all these books we have to read, and thankfully, so far, I've read 2 of the 2 that he's recommended.
Oh, so you're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's impressive. All right, so let's move on to a little bit more about what we're here for. How about that? So, since the last time we met you last year, you've got a sweet new title, CMO. Does that actually change anything in your day-to-day?
Actually, it doesn't.
No?
Right? It really didn't change too much because I was already pretty much leading what our marketing strategy and business strategy was for the company. But it's nice to get that in the company because it helps me network now with other people who have that title in other companies.
Okay.
Very good.
So last year, we were hearing at Autodesk University a lot about the future of making things.
That's right.
And something unique happened over the past 12 months where we dropped that one word, things. So the question is, how does that change the past 12 months? What does that mean now that it's the future of making? And what does that mean for our customers?
Right. Well, it's kind of funny that we dropped the T for one reason was it actually wasn't translating well globally.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of unnecessary. You didn't really, what else are you going to make, right? So we realized, A, things doesn't translate well globally, and B, it was kind of an unnecessary word. But for us, future of making, what's great about it is we're evolving the story, right? We had future of making things, version 1.0, and now we're at future of making. And I think what it does for our customers is that we have to keep the story alive because 3 years ago we were talking about generative design being in the future. Well, you just saw on main stage, it's now.
It's here.
Future's here. So now we're talking about the next things that are coming, right? And we talked about the future of work. And Andrew talked about that on main stage, right? We have all these new jobs we never had before. And that's really relevant for our customers.
So I have a predictive question for you. Is next year's, are you going to be the future?
Am I going to be the future?
No. Is the
it's next year.
we're going to keep dropping words. It'll be the.
Oh,
eventually.
I see what you're saying. All right, it was a little slow. Yeah, it'll be the future of.
That's right.
Okay.
I like it.
So there's a big focus on us becoming more of a customer-centric or customer-first company. And of course, Luke and I are all on board with this. We try and reach out with our customers and do things like this as much as possible. But what are we currently doing to make that happen or to make that change?
Yeah, and by the way, one of the things I will point out is we like to say a customer company and not say centric or first because we really think that it's not about that. It's about be a customer company. And what that really means is how do we create a frictionless environment for our customers? And you have to think about them first. So the way I internalize it is I have to think like the customer, behave like the customer, and do things like the customer. And if I can walk a mile in their shoes, I'm going to be able to figure out how to do things better for them.
Okay. So you basically just stole the next question. You answered already.
See, I'm an overachiever. I'm an overachiever.
That was well done.
So now that we're well into our subscription model, what kind of key learnings would you say we've gotten out of that? I think that we've been talking about it long enough, but I'm sure there's some customers that are still maybe either not on board or maybe not familiar with what that means.
Yeah, so I'll tell you one of the key learnings is we really have to focus on adoption. You know, it used to be in a perpetual license model, you worried more about just getting the sale. But now what we worry about is making sure that they're adopting and using the product and getting value because you want people to continue to renew and to use more. So that's been key because now for our customers' perspective, we're focusing a lot on how do we help you adopt and get value and start using this in your organization. So now we have a whole customer success organization that we never had before in the company. So we've literally created new organizations just to focus on that for the customer. Yeah,
I think a good example, I've been doing some work with our adoption and retention team, and it's, typically we were making content for someone that's using Inventor, but now it's, we're making content and making sure that they're seeing the value of all the collections. So they're using our simulation, they're using, the CAM tools, they're using the nesting tools, all the different things that isn't just Inventor and AutoCAD in the collection. I think that's a perfect example where we're making an effort to do that with our customers and get that in front of them.
Absolutely, and we're creating those critical workflows. I talked to a customer last year who said, look, I'm not a software company. Make your stuff work together and you work on the workflows because you're a tech company. And what I do is I make industrial machinery. So I don't want to have to worry about doing that. And I think that kind of value that we start to deliver helps people really start to use our software and get value from it. The other thing is that we're really trying to give them more insights. So what's great is when you're using our cloud technology, we can see who's using what, how much are people using it, and that's helping companies plan better into the future to say, what do we need? It helps them budget better and also helps them know, for instance, are they getting better with BIM and things like that.
I love it when my CMO teaches me something about, about what we're doing. That's awesome.
You see, there you go.
Staying connected, right? We've been selected to lists on Forbes and other such lists as a great company to work for. Really high up there as well, which is wonderful. And a big part of that is the diversity inclusion efforts that we've been doing. Luke and I have both been lucky enough to sit through some sessions with Danny and get a better perspective on that. But how do you see this positively impacting our products as well as the experience for our customers?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I just had a workshop with my whole team, a D&I workshop. So I think what happens is that when we have a diverse workforce and then inclusion, right? So the great analogy that was given to me is diversity is being asked to the dance and inclusion is being asked to dance, right? So it's one thing to have diversity at the table, but if you're not involving everybody, you're not getting the best outcomes. So for our customers, when we have a diverse group and we include all those thoughts, we're actually getting better ideas for them. We're getting better products, we're getting better solutions, and I think our customers benefit directly from our diversity and inclusion efforts at the company.
So keeping with the company track there, so are there any specific parts that you're particularly interested in? So we have things like the foundation, sustainability, education. So if you had like a passion project here inside of Autodesk, what would you say that passion project would be?
Yeah, so by the way, I'm chairman of the board for our foundation, so I get...
Well, there we go.
Alrighty, there's your passion project.
I have one passion for that, but I will say my real passion project is trying to work with young girls and get them more involved into STEM. Because I believe that if you don't start working with them in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and start to open up their minds and say, I can do this is fun, this is exciting, we're never going to make a real change. So that's something I'm extremely passionate about.
Okay.
I think it's funny because we have people that write into our podcast and tell us, like, oh, you've gotten my children into STEM, and we had one in particular that was like, oh, my daughter loves this, and you explain it in a way that's really easy for her to understand. Then I wonder, is it that I just don't know it very well, or that she's actually interested and we do a good job?
That's fantastic, though, to hear that kind of feedback.
Yeah. So when we're sitting here next year, what do you think are going to be some of the biggest changes that we're talking about? Like this year we looked at generative even more and how the workflow is so much smoother and how people are actually adopting it. What do you see coming up on the horizon?
I think that we're going to have a lot more information and insight when we talked about the future of work and what the capabilities are that we're going to need as workers in the future. So I think you heard on main stage Andrew talk that we're partnering with Deloitte and they're running a bunch of surveys and focus groups here. I think we're going to have some really interesting insights to share with everybody at AU next year, and they're going to hear much more about that.
Okay. So last question. If you could give one piece of advice to a 36 to 43-year-old, hardworking, funny, technically skilled marketing professional, what would that be?
I would say, you know what, you should keep on doing blogs. I think that that's just such a great... No, honestly, what I think is, so I love the creativity, having fun. I think that's great. Like, keep having fun with your work and keep being innovative, because I think that just keeps people motivated. We spend a lot of time at work, so
yeah,
I think it's great.
We do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was wonderful. I think your score might hold up for knowing Andrew best.
Okay.
So
I'm so excited.
You know.
You have to let me know.
Well, what we're doing a mashup. We're taking all of his staff's answers and putting them into a video.
Oh, funny.
And he's going to see who knows him best.
Oh.
So far, you're good.
Okay. He's going to think I'm not reading all of his Twitter feed.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again at Autodesk University 2018, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next year.
All right. Thanks for having me.
See you, everybody. Thanks.